I stared at the ceiling again that night, listening to the quiet hum of the fan. Emily was beside me but facing the wall. Her phone screen glowed faint blue across the room. "Em," I whispered. "You're still awake?" She didn't move. "Yeah, just reading." I turned toward her. "You've been just reading every night this week." "I can't sleep." "My head's full. With what?" I asked, trying to sound calm. "Work?" "Work, life, everything." Her tone was flat, distant. "Please, Ethan, don't start." "I'm not starting," I said quickly. "I just miss you," she sighed. "I'm right here." "No," I said, my chest tightening. "You're not." Her eyes flicked toward me for a second, then back to the wall. "I'm tired. I get that, but we barely talk anymore. You don't even want to hold me." She sat up suddenly, pulling the blanket around her shoulders. "You're making this harder." "Harder?" I echoed. "What's hard, Em?" "Talking to me?" "Being around pressure," she muttered. "You always want something. Answers, affection, plans, and I can't keep giving." "I'm not asking for much. Just honesty." "I am honest," she snapped. "I told you I'm not ready. I've said it for months. Not ready for what? Talking, touching, living like a couple?" My voice cracked. "We've been together 3 years." She looked away. "You don't understand." "Then help me," I said. "Make me understand. Silence. The kind that makes you realize something's breaking without noise." Finally, she said, "Can we not do this right now?" "I've got an early meeting." I wanted to argue, but her tone slammed the door shut. So I lay back, staring at the same ceiling, listening to her phone buzz once before she flipped it over. The next morning, I met Aaron at the cafe near my office. He was already stirring sugar into his coffee like it had personally offended him. "You look like hell," he said. "Let me guess. Emily slept facing the wall again?" I tried to smile. "She's stressed." "Her firm's got deadlines," he snorted. "Deadlines don't make people hide their phones." "She's not hiding anything." "Ethan," he said, leaning forward, "you told me she hasn't touched you in months." "She said she's not ready." "For what?" "You're not strangers. You're living together. She's different. I think something happened. Maybe she's dealing with anxiety or something." Aaron sighed. "You're too good, man. If she's pulling away, there's a reason." "I know," I admitted. "But I love her. I can't just accuse her." "I'm not saying accuse her," he said, "but stop pretending everything's fine when it's obviously not." I stirred my own coffee just to have something to do with my hands. What am I supposed to do? Demand she prove she loves me? Maybe demand she act like it. His words hit harder than I wanted them to. I changed the subject, asking about his sister Clara's art show. But my mind stayed trapped in that apartment, with Emily's silence, her phone, the growing gap between us. That evening, when I got home, she was already there, sitting on the couch with her laptop open. "Hey," I said softly. "How was work?" "Busy," she replied without looking up. "I brought Thai food. I'm not hungry." "You love Thai." "Not tonight." I stood there for a few seconds, holding the bag like an idiot. "Did I do something wrong?" She finally looked up, her expression unreadable. "No, I just need space." "Space," I repeated. "You mean time alone or—" "Just space, Ethan." I set the food down on the table and sat across from her. "You used to call me when you got home. Now I find out where you are through your voicemail." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "You're checking up on me now?" "No," I said quickly. "I just worry." "Well, don't. I'm fine." "Em, you're not fine. You're somewhere else in your head and I can't reach you." She closed the laptop. "I can't be what you need right now." "What does that mean?" "It means stop waiting for me to fix it." "So there's something to fix," I said quietly. Her jaw tightened. "You twist everything I say." "I'm just trying to keep us together." "Maybe stop trying so hard," she murmured. "It's suffocating." Her words knocked the air out of me. "I'm sorry," I said finally. "I didn't mean to make you feel that way." She rubbed her temples. "I know, I need to think. About us. About everything." I wanted to tell her how scared I was, how much I loved her, how I'd wait forever if it meant getting her back. But she was already standing, already walking away to the bedroom. I sat there for a long time, staring at the untouched food. My phone buzzed. Aaron again. "How's she acting tonight?" I typed back, "Same." Then he replied, "Wake up, Ethan." Later that night, I heard her whispering on the phone in the bathroom. The door was half closed. I caught fragments. No, he doesn't know. I can't right now. Please stop calling. When she came out, she flinched, seeing me awake. Who was that? I asked quietly. My mom, she said too quickly. At midnight, she's in another time zone. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But her eyes didn't meet mine. Okay, I said. Good night. Good night, she whispered, turning off the light. I lay there in the dark, staring at the outline of her body beside me, close enough to touch, miles away in every other sense. The silence was heavier than any argument. It filled every corner of the room, pressing against my ribs until I could barely breathe. And somewhere inside me, a small voice whispered the truth I didn't want to hear. She's already gone. Emily started working late again. Every evening her text said the same thing. Don't wait up. Busy night. At first I told myself it was just her career. She'd always been ambitious. But something about the way she said busy started to sound like don't ask. When she finally came home past midnight, I was sitting at the kitchen table. Hey, I said, forcing a smile. Rough day? She dropped her bag and kicked off her heels. You're still awake? Couldn't sleep. She opened the fridge. You didn't have to wait. I wasn't waiting, I lied. I just wanted to talk. She grabbed a bottle of water. Can it wait till morning? I'm exhausted. It's been like this all week. I told you, new project. Deadlines. Deadlines don't usually call you at 11:30, I said. She froze for half a second, then shrugged. The client's overseas. I nodded, pretending to buy it. Right, overseas clients. She shot me a tired look. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said quickly. Forget it. Her voice softened, just enough to sound human again. Ethan, I'm really just tired, please. I backed off like always. Yeah, get some rest. She disappeared into the bedroom, leaving her phone charging on the counter. I stared at it. I'd never been the kind of guy who checked, but curiosity twisted inside me like a knife. I didn't touch it. I hated myself for even wanting to. The next day I met Aaron at the bar near the station. He was already halfway through a beer. You look worse every time I see you, he said. Thanks, I muttered. That helps. Still pretending everything's fine? It's complicated, is it? He leaned forward. She's cold, distant, and barely home. You don't need to be Sherlock to know something's off, and she's just tired. He raised an eyebrow. Tired people sleep, not vanish till midnight. I stared into my drink. She said she needs space. Maybe I'm the problem, you're not. She's hiding something. You don't know that. I know what it looks like when someone checks out of a relationship, he said. You can keep defending her, but deep down you feel it too. I rubbed my forehead. I feel a lot of things. None of them make sense. Talk to her. She'll just say I'm paranoid. Then at least you'll know you tried. I have, I said quietly. Every time she just shuts down, he sighed. Man, I hate watching you drown while pretending you can swim. That weekend, I tried again. Let's go somewhere, I said at breakfast. Just you and me. No work, no calls. We could drive up to the lake, stay overnight. She didn't look up from her laptop. I can't. Why not? I told you there's a presentation Monday. Come on, it's one night. She shook her head. Ethan, please. I really can't do this right now. Do what? Spend time with me? Argue, she snapped. Everything turns into an argument lately. Because I'm trying. You're the one who keeps pulling away. I'm just asking for space. And I'm asking for effort. She slammed the laptop shut. You think I don't notice your tone? You act like I'm cheating every time I check my phone. I never said that. You don't have to, she said coldly. It's written all over your face. I swallowed hard. If that's what you think of me, then maybe we've already lost each other. Her expression softened for a second, then hardened again. Maybe we just need time apart. The words hit like a punch. Is that what you want? I don't know what I want, she whispered. I wanted to scream, then figure it out before you destroy us. But all I said was, okay. That night, I heard her laughing softly in the living room. A sound I hadn't heard in weeks. I peeked around the corner. She was on her phone, smiling, her voice low but warm. Yeah, she whispered. I miss that too. My stomach twisted. She looked up suddenly. "Oh, hey," she said, startled. "Who are you talking to?" "Just Rachel from work. You never laugh like that with me anymore." Her smile vanished. "Ethan, don't start. I'm not starting. I'm just asking." "Well, don't." I stepped back, my pulse pounding. "Fine, I won't." She brushed past me, heading to the bedroom. "Good night." "Good night," I muttered, staring at the dark screen she'd left behind. Hours later, I was still awake. The side of the bed where she slept felt like a stranger's space. I stared at the ceiling again, just like every night, thinking about her voice when she laughed. It used to sound like home. Now it sounded like a secret. I told myself it was nothing, that I was overthinking, that love meant patience. But the truth kept whispering through the cracks of denial. "You already know. Ethan, you just don't want to face it," and still, I rolled over, closed my eyes, and chose to believe the lie one more night. It was raining when I got home. The kind of rain that makes the world sound hollow. I had flowers in one hand and takeout in the other. I wanted to surprise her, maybe fix what was slowly falling apart. "Emily?" I called as I stepped in. The lights were off. "Am you home?" "Nothing. Just the hum of the fridge." I set the food down, checked my watch. 6:30. She usually came home by now. Her phone went straight to voicemail. I told myself traffic was bad. Meetings ran late. Anything but what my gut already knew. By 9, she still wasn't home. I sat on the couch staring at the door like a fool. When the knob finally turned, my heart jumped. She froze when she saw me. "You're home early." "Yeah," I said softly. Surprise. Her eyes darted to the table. "What's all this?" "Dinner." "I thought we could—" "I already ate." The words hit like cold water. "With who?" She looked down. "Just some coworkers." I nodded, forcing a smile. "Sure, work dinner." She hung her coat, moving too fast like she wanted to disappear. "You okay?" I asked. "You look pale." "I'm fine. Just tired." "You've been tired a lot lately." Her jaw tightened. "Ethan, please." "Not tonight." I raised my hands. "Okay, no fighting." I headed toward the bathroom. "I'll just wash up. Wait." Her voice cracked, but I didn't stop. The light flicked on, and that's when I saw it. A pregnancy test on the counter. Still there, next to her makeup bag. 2 red lines, bold, unforgiving. My throat went dry. I stared at it for so long that my reflection blurred. When I stepped out, she was standing in the hallway, frozen like a child caught stealing. "Emily," I said quietly. "What is this?" She didn't answer. I held up the test. "Tell me this isn't what I think it is." Her lips trembled. "Ethan, tell me, it's nothing." "Nothing?" I laughed, sharp and bitter. "There are 2 lines, Emily." She closed her eyes. "Please, let's not what? Talk about the fact that you're pregnant?" She took a step forward, tears in her eyes. "I was going to tell you." "When?" My voice broke. "Before or after the baby was born?" "Don't say it like that." "How else should I say it?" "You told me for months you weren't ready." You pushed me away. "You made me believe something was wrong with you, with us." Her hands shook. "It's not what you think. Then explain it." I snapped. "Because right now, there's a test in our bathroom that says everything you swore you weren't doing." She covered her mouth, sobbing softly. "Ethan, please, who is it?" The words slipped out before I could stop them. She froze. My stomach dropped. "Emily," I whispered, "please tell me I'm wrong." Her silence was the answer. I took a step back, my pulse pounding in my ears. "You're serious?" Tears spilled down her cheeks. "It wasn't supposed to happen." "Wasn't supposed to?" I laughed again, but it came out broken. "You don't just accidentally get pregnant, Emily." She covered her face. "I made a mistake." "With who?" I shouted. "Say his name!" She didn't speak. I grabbed the counter for support. "You lied to me every day. You made me feel guilty for wanting you. You made me think I was pushing too hard when all along—" I swallowed hard. "You were sleeping with someone else." "It wasn't like that," she cried. "It was— don't you dare say it was a mistake. A mistake doesn't last for months." She sank to the floor, shaking. "I'm sorry." "Sorry?" I whispered. "That word fixes this?" She shook her head. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "You didn't mean to get caught," I said coldly. Her eyes met mine, red and broken. "I didn't know how to stop." "Then you shouldn't have started." The rain outside grew louder. beating against the window like it wanted to drown the silence between us. I walked past her, into the living room, pacing because I couldn't stand still. My heart was burning and numb at the same time. "Who is he?" I said again, quieter this time. "I deserve that much." She hesitated. "Say it. Please don't make me." "I already know there's someone," I said. "You owe me a name," her voice cracked. "Liam." The sound of it nearly stopped my breathing. "Your coworker," I said slowly. She nodded. I stared at her, the woman I thought I knew, and realized I didn't know her at all. "How long?" "Since August. 3 months." I laughed under my breath. 3 months and you came home every night pretending everything was fine. I hated myself for it. Not enough to stop. She didn't deny it. I sank onto the couch, hands over my face. God, I was so blind. She moved closer. "Ethan, please, don't," I said, standing. "Don't come near me." I wanted to tell you, but I was scared. "Scared of losing me?" I said, "Or scared I'd find out what you really are?" She sobbed harder. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like?" She didn't answer. I pointed toward the bathroom. "That test says everything." She whispered something so quietly I almost missed it. "What?" Her eyes met mine. "It's not yours." For a moment, the world went silent. Even the rain stopped. I felt something inside me tear open. Not loud. Just final. I stared at her, at the woman who had been my whole world, and realized I didn't have one anymore. I couldn't move. Her words kept echoing. "It's not yours." I sat on the couch staring at nothing. My hands felt cold like the blood had stopped moving. She stood there trembling. "Ethan, please say something." "What is there to say?" My voice didn't sound like mine. I didn't mean for it to happen, I laughed quietly. "You keep saying that like it changes anything." She wiped her tears. "I was lonely. You were distant. Work consumed you." "I just don't," I cut in. "Don't you dare make this about me." "I'm not. I'm just trying to explain." "Explain what?" "How you fell into someone else's arms. How you carried another man's child while lying to my face." She winced. "I didn't plan any of this." "No one ever does," I muttered. For a moment, silence stretched between us, heavy and cruel. "Was it him?" I asked finally. "Liam," her eyes dropped. "Yes. How long? Since the conference in July." 4 months, I said. 4 months of sneaking around, pretending everything was fine." She stepped closer. I tried to end it. "Did you?" I asked. "Or did you just tell yourself that to feel less guilty?" Her voice cracked. "I loved you, Ethan." I looked at her sharply. "Loved, past tense." Tears rolled down her face. "Don't do that." "You already did," I said. "You buried what we had and handed me a gravestone." "I was lost," she whispered. "You stopped looking at me like you used to." "You stopped? I stopped?" I snapped. "You think I wanted distance? You built walls and told me to respect your space. I thought I was giving you peace, not room for someone else." She covered her face, sobbing. "I never wanted to hurt you." "Then why did you?" I demanded. She didn't answer. "Was it just him?" I asked. "Or were there others?" Her head shot up. "No! Just Liam. Just Liam," I repeated bitterly. "Do you hear yourself?" "I didn't love him," she said softly. "Then why?" Her lips trembled. He listened. "He saw me." "Then maybe you should have told me you wanted to be seen by someone else," I said coldly. "Instead, you lied every night you came home smelling like rain and guilt." She covered her mouth, shaking. "I can't undo it." "No," I said. "You can't." The air felt thick. I could hear the rain outside, soft at first, then louder, like it wanted to drown the truth between us. I stared at her, at the woman I thought I'd grow old with, and I didn't recognize her. "Did he know?" I asked. "About the baby?" She nodded slowly. "I told him yesterday." "And me?" "I wanted to tell you tonight." I laughed once, hollow. Perfect timing, she stepped closer. "Ethan, please, you have to believe me. I never stopped caring about you." "Caring?" I said, my voice cracking. "You call this caring?" She knelt in front of me, reaching for my hands, but I pulled away. "I'm begging you," she whispered. "Don't hate me." "I don't hate you," I said quietly. "I hate what you did to us." Her tears fell harder. "I'm so sorry." I stood up, pacing. "Do you love him?" She hesitated too long. "Say it," I demanded. Do you love him? She closed her eyes. I don't know. That's a yes, I said. It's not. She cried. I'm confused. No, I said, cutting her off. You're not confused. You made a choice. I didn't mean to fall for him, she whispered. You don't fall, I said bitterly. You walk, step by step. You text, you meet, you lie, and then you fall into bed, she gasped. Stop. Why? Does it hurt? She nodded through tears. Yes, good, I said. Now you know how I feel. I went to the window. The rain outside blurred the city lights, everything fading together. You said you felt lonely. You could have told me. You could have said you were breaking. I thought you'd be angry. I am angry, I said, turning toward her, but not because you were lonely, because you chose him instead of fighting for me. She whispered, he made me feel alive. Alive? I repeated. And what was I? A ghost beside you? She broke down completely. I'm sorry. I swear I never wanted this. Stop saying sorry, I said, voice low. It's just a word now. She covered her face, sobbing into her palms. I sat back down, staring at the floor. Did you ever love me, Emily? Her breath hitched. I did. When? Every day before I lost myself. Then why didn't you find your way back? She looked up, eyes red. Because by the time I realized what I'd done, it was already too late. I shook my head slowly. No, you just didn't want to face it. She reached out again, but I stepped back. Don't touch me. Ethan, I can't breathe in here, I said, grabbing my coat. She followed me to the door. Where are you going? I don't know. Please don't leave. I have to, I said quietly. Because if I stay, I'll say things I can't take back. Her voice trembled. I'll wait. Don't, I said. Not for me. The door clicked behind me, and the rain hit my face like needles. I walked without knowing where I was going, just moving because stopping meant feeling. The city lights smeared through the rain, every step echoing with her voice. I didn't cry. I couldn't. Something inside me had gone still. For the first time, I wasn't just hurt. I was angry at her lies. Angry at myself for believing them. Angry that love had turned into something that felt like poison, and as the rain soaked through my clothes, I realized something brutal. I wasn't walking away from her. I was walking away from who I used to be. Days stopped meaning anything. Mornings bled into nights, nights into nothing. I barely ate. The apartment smelled like stale coffee and rain-soaked clothes. Aaron banged on my door one morning. Ethan, open up! I didn't move. Man, I swear, if you make me kick this door down... I unlocked it slowly. He looked at me and frowned. Jesus, you look like death. Thanks, I muttered, turning away. He stepped inside, scanning the mess. When was the last time you ate? I don't remember. He tossed a sandwich on the table. You're gonna eat. Now. I'm not hungry. I don't care, he said, sitting across from me. You can't keep rotting in here. I stared at the wall. She's gone. I know. She's with him, I whispered. Aaron sighed. Yeah, I saw the pictures. My stomach twisted. Pictures? He hesitated. You really want to see? I nodded once. He handed me his phone. There they were. Emily and Liam, smiling, fingers intertwined, pretending the world hadn't just shattered around them. Something inside me cracked again. They look happy. They look fake, he said. That guy's an arrogant prick. I put the phone down. She used to smile like that with me. Yeah, before she ruined everything, Aaron snapped. Don't you dare romanticize this. I'm not, I said quietly. I just don't know who she is anymore. She's someone who betrayed you, he said flatly. Stop defending her, I rubbed my face. You make it sound easy. It's not easy, he said, softer now. But you can't let her destroy what's left of you. I already feel destroyed. He leaned forward. Then rebuild. Start small. Shower, eat, breathe. I can't. Then I'll drag you, he said. I'm not letting you disappear. I managed a weak smile. Why do you care so much? Because you're my brother, idiot, he said. And because Mom would kill me if I let you waste away. That made me laugh for the first time in weeks. He grinned. There it is, a laugh. Miracles happen, I shook my head. You're annoying. Yeah, but effective. He stood up. You're coming out with me tonight. No arguments. I don't know, he interrupted. You're going. My sister Clara's in town. You remember her? Vaguely, I said. She was the one who broke her wrist climbing that tree, right? Yeah, he said with a chuckle. She's back from medical school. She'll be there. Maybe she'll talk some sense into you, I groaned. I don't need therapy. Who said anything about therapy? Just fresh air and real food. The restaurant buzzed with quiet chatter and clinking glasses. I hadn't been around people in weeks. The noise felt foreign. Erin waved someone over. Clara! Over here. She smiled as she walked up, confident, calm. Hey, Ethan, long time, I forced a smile. Yeah, been a while, she sat beside me. You look like you've been through a war. Feels about right, Erin frowned. Don't sugarcoat it, Clara. She shot him a look. Ignore him. He's insensitive by default, I smirked. I noticed. So, she said, leaning back. You ready to stop being miserable? I laughed dryly. You don't ease into things, do you? No point, she said. Pain doesn't shrink if you whisper to it. Her words caught me off guard. You sound like you've been through it too. Everyone has, she said. The difference is what you do after. I looked down at my drink. What if I don't know what to do? Then start by doing anything, she said softly. Even breathing on purpose counts, Erin raised an eyebrow. See? Told you she's the smart one. Shut up, she said, laughing. Their banter pulled something loose inside me, something that felt almost like warmth. So what now? I asked. Pretend it never happened? No, Clara said. Let it hurt. Then make it mean something, I frowned. Make it mean something? Yeah, she said. Don't let what she did define you. Let it drive you. Her words lingered. Drive me. That night, when Erin dropped me home, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing Clara's voice. Let it drive you. I sat by the window, scrolling through social media. Every post from Liam made my blood boil, his smug grin, his perfect captions. New beginnings. Right where I belong. Emily stood beside him in every shot. Smiling like she hadn't burned a life behind her, I whispered, You think you won? My reflection in the glass looked hollow. I didn't recognize the man staring back. I grabbed my notebook, something I hadn't touched in months, and opened to a blank page. What are you doing? I muttered to myself, the pen hovered. Then I started writing, not about her, not about pain, about rebuilding, about truth. Every word came from somewhere raw, somewhere angry, somewhere alive. By morning, I had the outline of something real, an idea that could change everything. Erin called later. You alive? Barely, he laughed. Good enough. Clara said you didn't look half dead, so that's progress. She's different, I said. Yeah, she's tough, he said. You could use a little of that. Maybe I already started, I said quietly. He paused. Wait, what are you planning? Something new, I said. Something they'll see. Ethan, don't worry, I cut in. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I just want them to feel what I felt. How? You'll see, I said, a cold calm spreading through me. You'll both see. There was silence on the line. Erin sighed. Just don't lose yourself doing it. I looked at my notebook again. Maybe losing myself is exactly what I need. That night I sat in the dark, surrounded by torn memories and half-empty bottles. For the first time since she left, I didn't feel broken. I felt focused. The pain wasn't killing me anymore. It was shaping me, and whatever I was about to become, Emily and Liam would recognize it when it was too late. Months passed, but it felt like years had been scraped off me and left to rot somewhere I'd never go back to. I wasn't the same man. The one who begged for answers, who broke under someone else's lies, that version of me was gone. Erin pushed open the office door one morning. You look like hell, but I have to admit, hell's been productive, I smirked. That's your way of saying we're finally breaking even? He grinned. Better. We're profiting. People love your campaign idea. You turned pain into marketing gold. I turned betrayal into strategy, I said. Same thing, he laughed. Dark, but true. Clara walked in behind him, holding coffee. And self-destructive, she said. You barely sleep. Sleep's overrated. She set the cup on my desk. You keep saying that like your body's made of steel. I'm fine. Erin raised a brow. He's lying, she shot him a look. Shut up, I sighed. Both of you sound like parents, Clara crossed her arms. Maybe someone needs to, Aaron chuckled. She's right, man. You can't run on caffeine and revenge forever. It's not revenge, I said. It's rebuilding, she leaned forward. Then build something that makes you proud, not bitter. Her words lingered longer than I wanted them to. We'd built the company in 3 months, Phoenix Strategies. Aaron came up with the name. You burned down. Now rise, he'd said. At first I'd laughed. But now, hearing clients praise us, seeing my name on contracts, it started to feel real. Still, some nights I'd catch myself scrolling back through old photos. Emily's smile, her handwriting on sticky notes, the curve of her initials on my old mug. I'd shut it all down before the ache could breathe. One evening, Clara caught me staring at my phone. You thinking about her? I looked up, startled. What makes you say that? You look like you're about to delete something you shouldn't have kept. I sighed. She texted. Clara frowned. What did she say? Can we talk? I said, voice flat. Are you going to? No. I blocked the number. Clara smiled faintly. Good. You don't know ghosts conversation. Aaron walked in mid-sentence. Ghosts again? What did I miss? Emily, Clara said simply. He groaned. Of course. She's haunting you again. Not anymore, I said. She's blocked. Permanently. He nodded approvingly. Finally. Took you long enough. I leaned back in my chair. You ever notice how pain teaches faster than love? Aaron shrugged. Love's a lesson. Pain's the exam, Clara smirked. That's actually deep for you. I have layers, Aaron said. Mostly sarcasm, but still layers. We all laughed, and for the first time in months, it didn't feel forced. Weeks later, we landed a huge client. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Emails, offers, invitations. People wanted to work with me again. Not pity me, I wasn't chasing closure anymore. I was chasing peace. That's when my phone rang late one night. Unknown number. Normally I wouldn't answer, but something, maybe curiosity, made me swipe. Hello? There was silence. Then a faint breath. Ethan, her voice. I froze. Emily. Please don't hang up, she said quickly. I just need a minute. I didn't say anything. I know you hate me, she whispered. I don't hate you, I said. I don't feel anything. That silence again, sharp, awkward. I deserve that, she said. I need to tell you something. I waited. He left, she said finally. Liam? Yes, she said, voice cracking. He said he wasn't ready to be a father. The words barely registered at first. You're pregnant? I was. I am, I let out a slow breath. And he walked away. Yes, she said, choking back tears. He used me. I thought he loved me, Ethan. I thought I knew what I was doing. I stared out the window. The city lights blurred under the drizzle. Now you know what it feels like, she sobbed softly. I know, and I'm sorry. I can't undo it. I wish I could. Why are you telling me this? Because you were the only one who ever really cared about me, she said. And I destroyed that. I just wanted you to know. I'm paying for it. I closed my eyes. Her words didn't bring satisfaction, just a quiet ache that wasn't entirely pain. Emily, I said finally, I don't want to hate you. But I can't save you either. I'm not asking you to, she whispered. I just wanted you to hear it from me, not from anyone else. There was nothing left to say. Goodbye. Emily, I said, and ended the call. The rain outside kept falling, steady and soft. Aaron called the next morning. You look like someone dug up a ghost, she called, I said. Emily? Yeah, Liam left her. She's pregnant, Aaron whistled. Wow, guess karma got an express delivery. I nodded slowly. Yeah, it did. You okay? I think so, I said. For the first time, I think I really am. Clara walked in just then, carrying a folder. You look different, do I? She smiled. Lighter. Maybe because I'm done carrying what isn't mine anymore. She tilted her head. Meaning her? Meaning the past, I said. She nodded. Good, because the future's waiting. Aaron clapped his hands. Speaking of futures, your new campaign pitch is genius, man. The investors love you. Good, I said with a small smile. Let's keep going. Clara studied me for a second. You don't seem angry anymore. I'm not, I said. I thought revenge would fix me. Turns out peace did, Aaron chuckled. Wow, you're turning into some philosopher. Maybe, I said, looking out the window. Or maybe I just finally learned to stop bleeding for people who never tried to stop the cut. Clara smiled softly. Now that's the Ethan I always believed was still in there. I took a breath, feeling the weight slide off me like dust shaken from old wings. Phoenix Strategies, Aaron said, reading the name on the office wall. Still fits. Yeah, I said. We built it from ashes, just like me. For a long moment, none of us spoke. Outside, the rain stopped and sunlight broke through the clouds, painting everything gold. I wasn't broken anymore. I wasn't waiting for karma or closure. Life had already balanced the scales for me. When the receptionist called to say someone wanted to see me, I almost said no. I was buried in contracts, numbers, plans, everything that kept me from thinking about her. But when I stepped out of my office and saw Emily standing there, the world went quiet. Her hair was dull, her eyes swollen, her hands trembling around a worn-out purse. The confident woman I remembered was gone. Ethan, she whispered, I didn't move. Why are you here? She swallowed hard. Please. Just a minute. I gestured toward the meeting room. 5 minutes, she nodded, following me inside. When the door closed, silence pressed between us like glass. I didn't know where else to go, she said, voice cracking. That's not my problem anymore. I know, she said quickly.
I know I don't deserve anything from you.
You shouldn't be here. I had to see you, she said. I had to say I'm sorry. I leaned back, arms crossed. Sorry for what exactly? The lying, the cheating, or the pretending you ever loved me? Her lips trembled. All of it. I stared at her, trying to feel something. Anger, hate, pity, anything. But there was nothing left. She sat down slowly, clutching her hands. Liam left, she said. He took everything. My savings. The apartment. He said he'd take care of me, and then one morning he was just gone. I said nothing. I kept waiting for him to call. He didn't. She took a shaky breath. You were right about him. I nodded once. I usually am, though people realize that too late. Tears welled in her eyes. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not being cruel, I said calmly. I'm being honest. She looked at me, desperate. Ethan, I made a mistake. I thought I was chasing happiness, but all I did was destroy the only person who ever loved me for real. Don't, I said softly. Don't make this about regret. You didn't trip and fall into betrayal, Emily. You walked there. Her voice broke. I know, and I hate myself for it every day. I leaned forward. Then hate yourself quietly. Don't come here looking for redemption. She wiped her cheeks, her mascara smudging. I'm not here for redemption. I'm here because I can't stop thinking about you. Why? Because I still love you, she said, almost whispering. Even after everything I do. Her words hung there, but they didn't land. Not like they used to. I let out a slow breath. You don't love me, Emily. You loved how I made you feel, safe, admired, forgiven. You loved my kindness, not me, she shook her head. That's not true. It is, I said quietly. You loved the reflection of yourself in my eyes. When I stopped seeing you as perfect, you ran. She looked down, crying harder. I thought Liam loved me the way you did. He didn't, I said. He never could. But that doesn't mean you get to come back when the consequences show up. She covered her face with her hands. I don't want your pity. Good, I said. Because I don't have any, she let out a broken laugh. You've changed. I had to. You're colder now. No, I said, standing slowly. I'm clearer. She looked up at me through tears. So that's it? After everything we had, you just let me walk out again? I nodded. That's exactly it, her voice cracked. Don't you ever miss what we were? I looked her in the eyes. What we were nearly destroyed me. I won't miss that. She stood up too, shoulders shaking. You can't mean that. I do. She hesitated, searching my face for some sign of the man she remembered. You were the best thing in my life, Ethan. And you were my worst lesson, I said softly. But I learned. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The sound of the city outside filled the silence. Cars, rain, life moving on. I thought maybe you'd forgive me, she whispered. I do, I said. But forgiveness isn't an invitation back. She blinked in confusion. Then why forgive me at all? Because I don't want to carry you anymore, I said. You're too heavy. Her tears fell freely now. So that's it. I'm just another mistake to you. I shook my head. No. You were the reason I learned what I deserved. She covered her mouth, trying not to sob. You're not angry? No, I said. Anger means I still care. She stared at me as if realizing the finality of it. I don't know how to live with what I did. That's your journey, I said quietly. Not mine. For a second, I saw the woman I used to love, the warmth in her eyes before everything shattered. But it wasn't enough to pull me back. She turned toward the door. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Emily. She paused, voice trembling. You really don't hate me? I met her gaze. I don't have room for hate anymore. She nodded slowly, wiped her face, and walked out. The door closed gently behind her. The silence that followed wasn't heavy, it was peaceful. I sat down, staring at the empty chair across from me. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel the weight of what she'd done. I didn't feel revenge or grief, just calm. Erin knocked a few minutes later, peeking in. Everything okay? I saw her leave. Yeah, I said quietly. Everything's finally okay. He studied me. You sure? I'm free, Erin, I said, leaning back in my chair. Completely, he smiled faintly. Then I guess that's the best kind of ending. I looked out the window, sunlight spilling through the clouds. No, I said. It's the best kind of beginning. The wind was cool that night, carrying the faint hum of the city below. I stood on the balcony of my apartment, the one overlooking the skyline I used to dream about when everything was falling apart. The same skyline that once mocked me now felt like proof that I survived. Clara stepped beside me, 2 cups of coffee in her hands. You're out here again, she said softly. I smiled faintly. Habit. Thinking about her? I took the cup, staring into the steam. Not really. Not in the way I used to, she leaned on the railing. You always say that when you're thinking too much. I chuckled quietly. Maybe, but it's different now, she tilted her head. Different how? I turned toward the city lights. Before it was pain. Now it's perspective, she nodded, taking a slow sip. That's growth, Ethan. Yeah, I murmured. Took long enough. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The hum of traffic, distant laughter, the rhythm of a city alive, it all filled the silence between us. You ever wonder what she's doing now? Clara asked. Sometimes, I admitted. But not because I miss her. Just curiosity, I guess. Like when you think about a place you used to live in. She reached out again, didn't she? Yeah, I said. Last month. Sent an email. What did she say? That she's okay. Trying to start over. Said she hopes I'm happy. Clara looked at me carefully. And are you? I smiled faintly. I think I'm learning how to be. She didn't push further. That was the thing about Clara. She never forced words out of me. She waited. Patient. Quiet. You know, I said, a year ago I didn't think I'd make it. Every day felt like punishment. I remember, she said. Aaron told me he was worried. You barely spoke. Barely ate. Yeah, I was hollow. Like everything that made me human got scraped out. But you built something from it, she said, gesturing toward the glowing sign of our company's logo in the distance. That's not hollow, Ethan, I smiled. You helped me build it, she shrugged. I just reminded you you're still alive. Sometimes that's all someone needs. She looked at me, eyes soft. You've changed, you know. Not just the work or the success, you. Good or bad change. Real, she said simply. You used to chase people who didn't value you. Now you attract peace. I let out a slow breath. Peace. Feels strange to say I have it. She smiled. You earned it. We stood there in silence for a while, watching the city breathe. I remembered all the nights I used to stand alone on a different balcony, begging the universe for answers. Tonight I didn't need any. After a long pause, I said, Clara, can I tell you something? Of course. When Emily left, I thought she took everything from me. My confidence, my faith, my sense of worth. But she didn't. Clara listened quietly. She just stripped away the illusion, I continued. The illusion that love has to hurt to be real. That I needed someone to fix me. She broke me, yeah, but breaking me made room for who I'm supposed to be. Clara smiled faintly. That's a beautiful way to see it. It took time, I said. Too much time, maybe. But I get it now. Some people destroy you to wake you up. She turned to face me fully. And are you awake now? I laughed softly. Very. Her laughter joined mine, quiet and warm. You forgive her? She asked after a moment. Yeah, I said. Not because she deserves it. Because I do, Clara nodded. That's what real forgiveness is. It's strange, I said. I used to think forgiving meant forgetting. But it's more like remembering without bleeding, she smiled. That's healing, Ethan. The way she said my name always carried calm, never pressure. You ever think about love again? She asked gently. I do, I said. But not the way I used to. Love used to mean losing myself in someone. Now it means standing beside someone without needing to disappear. She looked at me thoughtfully. And do you think that's what this is? I met her gaze. I think it's what it could be. Her cheeks flushed, a small smile forming. I like that answer. I like that you don't rush me, I said. You let me grow at my own pace. She laughed lightly. I learned that from you, I smiled. Guess we're teaching each other. The city lights reflected in her eyes, soft and golden. For a moment, I thought about how far I'd come, from begging for love to simply being open to it. Ethan, she said quietly, you deserve peace. You always did. Maybe, I said. But I had to lose everything first to see it. She touched my hand gently. Losing everything doesn't mean losing yourself. I know, I said. It means finding who you were under all the noise. Her fingers lingered, then pulled away. So who are you now? I thought about it, looking at the skyline. A man who finally stopped fighting life, I said. A man who forgave the past, not the people. She smiled. That's freedom. Yeah, I said softly. It is. We stood there a while longer, the air cool against our faces. I thought of Emily, not with anger, not even with sadness, just understanding. She was a storm, and storms don't apologize for rain. Clara broke the silence. You know, Aaron said you'd never settle again. I laughed. Aaron says a lot of things. So is he wrong? I looked at her, really looked at her, the way her calm steadied the chaos I used to carry. Maybe not this time, I said. She grinned. We'll see. The clock tower in the distance chimed 10 times. The city felt alive and forgiving. You know what's strange? I said. I used to think happiness meant getting her back. Now I know happiness was just getting myself back. Clara smiled softly. And now that you have yourself, what's next? I think, I said, it's time to live. She lifted her cup. To living, then, I raised mine. To living. We clinked the cups together, laughter echoing quietly. The past didn't haunt me anymore. It humbled me. As the night deepened, I whispered almost to myself, Thank you, Emily, for breaking me enough to rebuild. Clara glanced at me. What was that? Nothing, I said, smiling. Just closing an old chapter, she nodded. Then let's start a new one. I looked out at the glowing horizon. For the first time in my life, the future didn't scare me. It invited me.